バカいい。
Hey everybody, Bam Collectibles here, back for another statue unboxing review for you. Today is unlike any video I've done before, where I will be collaborating with a statue sculpting channel named Just Hobby to showcase his handmade, one-of-a-kind Baryon Mode Naruto statue. Just Hobby has been sculpting for about 7 months now, and I got to talking with him a few weeks ago and engaging and seeing, if he would like to take on the challenge of sculpting this statue of Naruto in its final form, and he did accept it. He is a person just like me who welcomes challenges and new opportunities with arms wide open, so he started the project eagerly and excited. Keep in mind, he is not some artist who has arrived at the magical destination where all his work is perfect. There are some flaws and there is some room for improvement, but I want to take time today to appreciate and showcase what an incredible job he did bringing this to life for being a sculptor under a year. For those that saw the video I did for the art contest, this has nothing to do with it. This is something completely different, so look forward to that sometime probably later this year. Do me a huge favor, and after this video, be sure to head over to his channel to see how this statue is made from start to finish. Let's support him. Subscribe to the channel. He's got some amazing content on the horizon. I heard there's an Attack on Titan series that he's going to be starting where he's sculpting 3 different statues that are going to come together as one. I'm excited to see it, so let's go ahead and head over and support him. Without delay, let's jump on in. First off, we'll take a look at the bottom of the base. He customized this himself to make this the edition size of 1/1 to me and of the Baryon mode by Just Hobby. I tell you, when watching the video, how this all comes together, I couldn't believe how he brought the base to life and what he used to do so. So there's all sorts of paint application and texturing, a bunch of layering that he did to add some depth to this. Most handmade sculptors, they don't do something like have removable characters or a separate base. It's all one unit together. So the fact that he was able to engineer that is incredible. And again, we'll see that smoother surface there because something's going to be resting inside. Over here, we'll see a little peg where something's going to be fitting into it, or I guess a notch. Another one on this side as well. You can bet that's going to be for Naruto's feet. But the broken rubble and the concrete all around looks incredible. Looks like actual bits of concrete were shattered into pieces and rock is being broken. Really good to reflect the fact that Naruto's entering into this mode, so I'm sure there's a lot of power that comes from that is breaking up the ground itself. Statue would normally face forward like this, but we'll spin it to the side because we have to install some other pieces. And up next is going to be Kurama or Kurama, however you want to call it. Now the sculpting on this was super impressive. Taking a look at the bottom, you'll see that it is extremely smooth. That's going to be resting upon some of the rocky areas. And then all throughout the rest of the body, he added texturing to make it look like there's actual fur on there. Also sculpted all throughout the body is a lot of muscle definition that they did. Now, when I think of Kurama, I think of somebody who's not as toned, but you know what? During different scenes, they had him look muscular, and some they had him look more lean. Unfortunately, one of the nails did break off of this one. I wasn't able to find it, so that is not on there. But also, if we get close to this face, it looks incredible. I think he did a fantastic job with this. Painting an eyeball requires so many different layers of paint to make it look realistic, and he accomplished that very well. Also, the teeth look extremely fierce looking, and how he added each and every single one into there was super impressive. The only thing I would have to say about this that I guess I didn't like, that I wish could have been done, is I liked, in the beginning of this video where he was almost making like a clap hand sign. That would have been cool if they did that, but I guess he did need to support himself, so he has his arms to the side. This is a Bandai effect piece, one of a few that I'll be using in the statue to kind of enhance it and bring it more to life. We'll go over that a little bit later. For now, we'll just install this on the front. All right, with him out of the way, we'll take a look at Naruto and see how he was sculpted. First thing is he is extremely heavy. This is made of actual, what I believe is polymer clay, or you can check out in this video to confirm. But on the bottom of there, you'll see there was that notch, a piece of rock in the back there to balance his foot as well. And he has more of a crouched standing position. Also on the bottom of this foot, you'll see a tiny steel rod, a bunch of wrinkles all throughout the clothes. And on the back here, we'll see the cloak that's forming. And this looks extremely odd just looking at it like this. All these different colors, like a rainbow back there. But that's going to help later to attach the different tails that he sculpted, so it'll make perfect sense and look good once we have all of those on there installed. Now, having to sculpt all those separately is again something that sculptors who do this don't normally. It's usually one piece. They don't have pieces that are removable, but he had to do that in order to ship it to me, or things would have just broke. Great job on the outfit. Some of the paint details themselves are so clean and slick for having done all of this by hand. Every single bit of the paint job was done pretty much by hand and some airbrushing. I always love that design that's on the front of the cloak. He did a good job with that. And to get the elephant out of the room, the face isn't perfect, all right? Like we'd mentioned before, there's certain things about the statue that he tried his hardest, but there is room for improvement and growth. He knows it, but for what it is, I think he did a good job, especially the paint detail on the eye and the accuracy to the actual paint application, the black markings and the coloration of the hair. And bottom line, this statue is going to be in one of my display cases where I'm going to be viewing it daily from like a 3 to 5 foot basis. And from that far away, you don't even see those details. So he looks great. As I mentioned before, all 9 chakra tails were sculpted separately, which is an impressive feat of its own. So we'll see here it has a steel rod that goes all throughout to act as a backbone and support the actual piece and the weight of it. And we have that black stripe that was painted on there all the way through. So the line isn't going to be perfect, again, because it is hand painted. But here is this one. You can see the coloration on there. And then we also have these other pieces here that have like the gold and the silver and the bronze look to them. So we'll just match those up with the holes that are on the back there and watch this come to life. At this time, I do want to say a special thank you to Just Hobby because, yeah, I didn't pay for this at all. This was sent to me on his dime, his time, all the massive amount of effort that was put into it out of the kindness of his heart to do this collaboration. So a special thank you for doing this. I personally, wanted to showcase the statue of him in this mode, but nobody's going to make these for probably months, maybe even years before we see official studios make them. Maybe not even soon, because Boruto statues don't get the time and attention that the original Naruto Shippuden or Naruto's show gets. So it's great to have, I guess, the first ever showcase probably for a long time. From the back, it does look a little bit crazy how they're all going different directions, but we'll spin this around front so you can see how it looks there. I think overall, one thing that we also talked about is the standing, semi-crouched position. Probably could have been done better with maybe 1 foot forward, 1 foot a little bit further back to have him staged a little bit differently. Here are these Bandai effects that I had mentioned earlier. This is the box that it came in. I've already taken those pieces out, but you'll see here on the back what it looks like. They're typically used to kind of enhance a figure or add a little bit of a diorama to them. But the way I'm going to add it to these statues, I think is going to add a little bit of extra flair and effect to the overall piece. When it comes to adding on these effects, it's actually an idea that I came up with because I had some of these extra laying around. And so I'll take a little bit of credit for that. That's about the only thing that I was able to design and come up with for this. But we will give a little bit of credit to the individual on Instagram called Blandon Art, who came up with the concept for this during the Baryon Mode art contest that I had hosted. And we'll just show a picture real quick up here, what it looks like. And so that's where the inspiration for this was taken from. Not exactly, but just the basic amount of inspiration. This is a spotlight that we can use that I'm going to be sticking behind him to light up some of these clear pieces of the PVC flames to make them come to life. With that installed, we'll dim the lights and see how it looks in the dark. Pretty dang cool, and I want to thank you again, Just Hobby, for hosting today's collaboration. I want you to head right over to his channel, check out how this was made start to finish, and thank you for joining in today. I'll see you in the next video. As always, everybody, do what you love and love what you do. Bam out.